Hi everyone, this is Albert Pineda, and I'm going to be working on the homework assignment that I was given for this week, which is found in Lesson 9, Chapter 8, Exercise 11, found in the Wiley Plus assignments, homework assignments for this week. The question reads for Exercise 11, these transactions took place for Sheffield Corp. On May the 1st, 2016, received a $4,600 12-month 3% note in exchange for an outstanding account receivable from R. Stoney. On December 31st, that same year, accrued interest revenue on the R. Stoney note. And on May 1st, 2017, received principal plus interest on the R. Stoney note. So the question is stating that we need to journalize these specific transactions and credit and debit them in the right accounts. So I found that the link to the text here at the bottom of the screen was very helpful because sometimes I think it can be a little confusing to know when you're supposed to debit an account and credit it. So we'll go ahead and open up the link to the text. It opens up a separate window here. So for recognizing notes receivable for the first question, we would debit notes receivable and credit accounts receivable right here, according to the link from the text for our book. So we'll go ahead and minimize that. For the first portion, we will add in May 1st, 2016, the date, the notes receivable, and the note that we received from the R. Stoney Company was $4,600 here. And then we would credit accounts receivable for the same dollar amount. Next, on December 31st, 2016, we are supposed to journalize accrued interest. And again, if we open up the same link to the text window, we can scroll down and it will show us how to journalize accrued interest revenue. Go down a little bit further. Here we are. Okay, the accrual of interest receivable. So that we would receive some interest. So what we would do is we would debit interest receivable and we would credit interest revenue. And to do that, we would need to use the formula to compound interest, which is also found up here above. Here we are. And we know from the text that to compound interest, we would take the face value of the note, multiply that by the annual interest rate, and multiply that by the time in terms of year to equal the interest that we would earn, that we would accrue. So go ahead and minimize that. Okay, so for this particular problem, we see that the interest received, the note we receive is $4,600. It is a 3% note. And the term is 12 months, but the interest that had been accrued beginning on May the 1st to December 31st is an 8-month span. So to calculate that, I'll go ahead and bring up a calculator here. Oops, here. Okay, so 4,600, the note, times 0.03 times 8 months divided by 12. Which equals 92. So the interest that gets accrued, whoops, wrong one, there we are. The interest receivable would be debited for $92 and the interest revenue would be credited for $92. Then the last portion, again, we'll go ahead and bring up the text link here. We need to journalize the accrual of, we need to journalize the principal and interest that we had earned. So we'll go ahead and scroll down here and it will show you how we're supposed to debit and credit that particular account. Here we are. Okay, so we would debit cash, the dollar amount. We would credit notes receivable. We would also credit interest receivable and credit interest revenue to fill that in. So we'll go ahead and show you here. The note receivable would be the note itself that we received way back at the beginning of the problem, which was for $4,600, goes right here under the credit section. The interest receivable, which we had learned from above here, was 92, so that plugs in here. And the interest revenue that we earn would be from starting on January 1st, 2017, after we had accrued the initial interest, to the current date, May 1st, 2017. So that is a time frame of, let's see here, that is a time frame of 4 months. So it's very similar to compound the interest. What we would do, go ahead and bust out the calculator here. Okay, let's clear that. So the note, 4,600 times the percentage, 3, times 4 months divided by 12. 46. Okay, so the interest that's accrued during the second period from January 1st to May 1st would be 46. So to get the cash that gets debited would be adding up the three sums here. 4,600 plus 92 plus 46 to get 4,338. And that's it. So if you have any questions, please feel free to respond on the message board. Okay, thanks guys.